Hey guys, it's Benji. Welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to share to you on how to get a job here in Singapore. And the most important thing is what to bring in Singapore, and that is your budget. But before that, help me like, share, comment down below, and please help me to click the subscribe button. Welcome back. So as what I've said earlier, that coming here in Singapore, you really need to have a budget, which is very important. You should be financially budgeted. Okay, so I'm going to share to you how much do you need to spend on a daily basis on your food. Now, if you're not having a breakfast every day, you only drink coffee, then you save a lot. Now, for example, I am an applicant coming here in Singapore. If you're going to buy on the grocery store, we call it fair price, okay, and you're gonna buy a chicken or a pork, it will cost you almost $5. Now, let's say for example, on your dinner time, there's a lot of hawker centers here in Singapore wherein you can buy with amount of $5. For that $5, that includes a rice, a soft drink or a water, and 2 dishes. Roughly per dish here, it will cost like $2. Now, since you're here in Singapore or you're on a budget type, maybe you go for a rice, a water, or a soft drink, and 1 dish, roughly $3 to $4. Might as well you have to budget well. Okay, so on a daily basis, for food allowance, you're gonna spend like $10. In $10, in peso money, in Philippine currency, that is 370 pesos. So if you're going to times it into 30 days, you're gonna spend like 300 Singapore dollar, which is in peso money, it is 11,100 pesos. So in food allowance itself, you're gonna spend almost 12,000 pesos, 11 to 12,000 pesos. Now, going to number 2. For number 2, which is the transportation. Here in Singapore, the transportation is MRT or going for a bus ride. Usually one way from point to point. Let's say for example, Paya going to City Hall MRT station on an average price of one way, which is 1.5 Singapore dollar. In peso money, that is roughly 55 pesos to 60 pesos. Now, if you're going to have that two-way ticket, either a bus ride or MRT ride, that will cost you 120 pesos. Okay, let's proceed to number 3, which is the accommodation. Rentals accommodation here in Singapore, it's quite really expensive. On an average price, it will cost you on a monthly basis, it is 400 Singapore dollar. So in peso money, roughly it is 15,000 pesos. Can you imagine that? You're paying 15,000 pesos for your monthly rental here in Singapore. It seems like you're paying your monthly condo deposit for a pre-selling project in the Philippines. But this is Singapore. So you might compare that 15,000 pesos, what? That's why there's a lot of Filipinos coming here in Singapore. They're like, they don't like to come here anymore because when they heard that the cost of living for accommodation is like almost 15,000 monthly, how much do they really need to prepare coming here? So they feel like, oh, it's too expensive, I cannot afford that. Yes, it is expensive. Coming here, you should have to invest first with money, which is very practical. Of course, going back to accommodation, as what I've said, it's 400 Singapore dollars, so that is 15,000 pesos. Okay, so what if you're not going to have that monthly rental? Of course, you're gonna do for a daily basis, which is a transient. Looking for a transient here in Singapore, usually you can find it also on Facebook page or also on a certain applications like Gumtree or certain websites wherein they're gonna post our locals or Filipinos. They will post that there's a transient or bedroom for rent on a daily basis. It will cost you like 20 Singapore dollar. 20 Singapore dollar in peso money, that is 760 pesos. So 760 pesos on a daily basis times 30 days, that will cost you 22,200 pesos. So your food, it's 11,000 to 12,000 pesos. Your accommodation, it's 3,300 to 4,000 pesos. And your accommodation, it will cost you like 22,200. If you come here in Singapore and you're gonna get a job through agency, how much do you need money for you to pay the placement agency? This is the reality here, guys. You have to pay a total average of 5,500 Singapore dollar to 6,000 Singapore dollar. And in peso money, Philippine currency, that is 204,000 to 210,000 pesos. So that's the placement fee here in Singapore. Can you imagine that? So let's say, for example, I'll come here in Singapore. I'm going to total it for you to have the idea. So on your monthly basis of food, transportation, and accommodation, for your food, monthly allowance is 11,000 to 12,000 pesos. And then for your transportation, it's 3,300 to 4,000 pesos. And for your accommodation, it's almost 15,000 pesos. Now, if you're going to get a job through agency, you're going to pay 210,000 pesos to 220,000 pesos. So if you're gonna total it, it's almost 270,000 to 280,000 for your food, accommodation, and transportation, plus your placement fee worth 210,000 pesos. But if you get a direct job wherein you're not going to pay a placement fee, you're gonna only to spend 30,000 pesos on a monthly basis. Yes guys, you heard it right. It's 30,000 pesos. Just to let you know, this is an average amount that you're gonna spend coming here. Alright? But of course, hard work pays off to those who really work hard to get a job here in Singapore. I always believe in prayer, so always pray guys. Whenever you go out and to find a job, always pray that maybe on this day when you submit a resume to a company, they will call you and they will hire you. If your target is to get a job here in Singapore, you really need to focus on getting a job. Try not to go for shopping first. Try to focus on applying, sending resumes online, and going walk-in, or you go through agency. That's all for today guys, and hope you've learned something here on this video. That's the reality compared to having too much expectations coming here in Singapore, that you're not going to spend much, but you're gonna really have to spend much here. So 30,000 pesos on a monthly basis without agency. If you get a job, direct job, well and good. To get that agency fee, food, accommodation, and transportation, roughly you're gonna pay like 270 to 280,000 pesos. Alright, that's it for today, and thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.